I just put the footage into the computer and I took a brief moment, a look at it, and I was kind of embarrassed the way I looked. I didn't think I looked that good. Just another thing. I'm with the flow of embracing my embarrassment. But what I was thinking, I was kind of want this to be like a revolution. Like, instead of people putting this act on, like, because right now there's this act where everyone has to act one way in front of a group of people and another way in another group of people, and you always put your best foot forward, and you always act like everything, you have it all together. But I wanted to create this revolution, and that's what we're trying to do at the RawBrahs retreats, of embracing all the things you're most embarrassed of. Just like showing off your insecurities. Like if you have this, like I said, I use a small wiener example, kind of funny and it's true for a lot of people. And you have a small wiener, you pull your pants down and show everyone. Like, that's what I want to create. You think you're stupid, but like, yeah, I'm so stupid that I don't know anything about the Iraqi war. That's me. I don't know crap about politics. I'm kind of happy about that. I could be embarrassed about that. You start asking me history stuff. Woo, embarrassing. What are things other people are embarrassed about? Like, we'll say the RawBrahs, some skinny calves. You know, like instead of being like, you know, I'm not even that great at that. I don't wear pants all the time. I don't like my bow legs. I don't like my bow legs.
You mean you don't wear shorts though?
Yeah, I don't wear shorts a lot because I'm kind of, I think I look better. I don't think it adds that much value to me. But instead of being like that, I want to wear like short shorts and show off my bow legs. And plus, I've learned some things. Like I've learned in the past that black girls love them, and gay guys. Apparently, they're good for sex. But yeah, so you basically feature your flaws. So maybe I'll name this video "Feature Your Flaws" or "Embrace Your Embarrassment." Which one do you think's better, Diana?
Feature your flaws.
Feature your flaws? All right, so I'll name this video "Feature Your Flaws." Dash, is Danimal an alcoholic? And then you do the same thing. Let's start a revolution. I would recommend doing it in person, is most importantly, but at least we'll settle for the computer, and plus we'll get some cool kind of credit if this idea goes viral. So feature your flaws. Is Danimal an alcoholic? Feature your flaws. Is Diana a psychopath? Feature your flaws.
Yeah, I did a video on that.
You did? Oh yeah, what was your disease? What's your thing called?
Hyperhidrosis.
Feature your flaws. Does Diana has hyperhidrosis? Is this a disease? Whatever your thing is. Feature your flaws. I give up. Do you tell me what yours is? Whatever yours is, you do a video response and let's make this idea get big. Let's stop acting and start creating, and stop being ashamed and start celebrating these things.
Where do you want people to post them?
Post them on our Facebook page, right? That's probably a good way to do it. Post them on our Facebook page. So do your YouTube video, and you'll be nervous, but instead of being uncomfortable, be fun comfortable. And nervous is good. It's not something to be avoided. Wow. If growth takes place outside your comfort zone, why the heck would you avoid being uncomfortable? You gotta chase those fears, baby. And this could, for some people, I think maybe it might be too radical to do it in front of your spouse or your mother or parents, because well, you gotta really come to a RawBrahs retreat to. We try to do some unconditioning real quickly, but maybe if it's just you and the video camera, you're more comfortable doing it, and then you can post it on YouTube, and it'll be all out there, and you can just not kill the ego, but transfer the ego. Transfer the ego from let's have an ego about not having an ego, instead of having.
It'll be really hard.
Yeah, it'll be really hard. Tell me if it's too hard for you, that's cool, but I would highly recommend you do it. Life is too short not to experience the highest levels of help, and I think once you can embrace your embarrassment and feature your flaws and have the most empathetic experiences possible, you will love life to a new level. Bam, cut me off.
Stop it.
Hello? Alright, good. Here we go. This is a sampling of what you get on our website. The question of the day. Today the question I'm answering is, what is your favorite beers? And that's a tricky question because there's so many good beers around the world. And you really could probably drink a different beer for every day of your life and still have beers you haven't tried, just like fruits. But today, because I'm in Athens, Georgia, I'm drinking the Athens, Georgia beer. The Hopsecutioner from Terrapin. So I like to keep it local. Yeah, like, you know, just because there's so many good beers, I like to keep like local micro craft beers, basically. And so I can't really answer your question. I mean, let's see. If I had to pick, like a Delirium Tremens is one of my favorite beers. That's a good one. High gravity though, so be careful. Now, onto the real subject. The reason I'm putting this on our regular channel is not only to advertise for our members only section, which you should go ahead and subscribe to, but also to talk about one of the most important subjects of health to me and to other people I've studied. And I think it's no secret how to get healthy. I mean, man, people look so hard and far when really it's just imprinted in Mother Nature's menu and God's plan for us. You just like live in line with nature, meaning you eat whole foods in season, locally, you move a lot, you sleep a lot, you get a lot of sunlight, you become an animal. And most importantly, out of all the things I could ever tell you about health, the one that strikes me as the most powerful healing tool in the world, and now I'm already basically doubting what I just said, is but basically embracing your insecurities. Some might really be able to do that using the tool of radical honesty, which Brad Blant wrote a great book about. We usually recommend that one. A lot of people have written great stuff on this. Alan Watts wrote a book, The Wisdom of Insecurity. Our friend JP Sears does great videos on this. There's a lot of people that touch on this subject, but to me, a lot of people, even Jordan Rubin, you might know him, and he says that his #1 health recommendation basically is to forgive. And what I'm getting at here is basically the best way to forgive yourself. And I'm talking about basically exploding your ego. I don't think you can actually get rid of your ego, because I think the ego is kind of like energy. You can kind of just transfer it, and the more you transfer it, the more it will get lost in drag or in the transferring of the energy, and you can have a better control of it. Because most people's ego, I think, is right now, in this time, in this day and age, is super concentrated in the mind. So what we recommend is basically losing your mind and coming to your senses. And when you come on one of our retreats, I would say it's kind of analogous to us like getting a bazooka and aiming it right in your mind, right where the ego is, and exploding it and letting it dissipate into your senses. And basically what I'm talking about is just getting high on life by embracing your insecurities and not being ashamed, but being excited to feel alive. And for me, like, I have my insecurities. I have plenty of insecurities. I could talk here all day. Sometimes I doubt telling them because I think taken out of context, you know, this is my rational mind working. If I give people my insecurities out of context, they might be taken the wrong way. They don't get the full picture. But the ones that pertain to you guys, since you watch the RawBrahs and we're a lot about food, fitness, and fun, you should probably know that I'm trying. See, this is me. I'll give an example because I sometimes think that, or yeah, most of the time I think demonstration over conversation. So here I am demonstrating what I would be insecure to tell you. What one of the things I wouldn't, or some of the things I wouldn't want to tell you. See that? See, what's happening right now is my breathing is getting a little more shallow. Some people can interpret that as getting nervous or getting scared or uncomfortable, but I have fooled myself. I've undone the cultural conditioning with all these words. I've actually been losing my faith in language lately. I almost think the less we talk and the more we walk, the better we are off. And I know this takes a lot of talking, paradoxically, to explain this stuff to you. But I like this kind of sensation. Once you can learn to love the sensation of what some people would call uncomfortable, which I now call fun comfortable, this is just proof that I'm alive, that, whoa, I can notice my short breath. Whew. And usually when you ask for more of it, like, let's see if I can breathe more shallow, it kind of goes away. All of a sudden I feel more calm. And this is profound. I'll tell you, this is profound stuff. This is powerful stuff. The idea that when a sensation comes, it can go if you experience it. But the more that you resist it, the more that it persists. So if I sat here and be like, I can't do that, I can't, oh my gosh, my breath is getting so short, I would probably get more and more shallow breathing, and I would probably get so nervous I might not be able to handle it. I would never even experience it. I would just keep holding it back, keep burying it until it came out in some weird way like a dis-ease. But instead, I want to experience this and get high on it. So, back to what makes me uncomfortable around you guys, is that Danimal, I feel like I would get, you know, people are going to say stuff about this, but I think I drank excessive amounts of coffee. And I know that's like, I think for a health figure, at least coming from the raw vegan side of things, some people think the more coffee you drink, the healthier you are and the more success you get, which has been shown to me time and time again, especially from people like my grandma. It's like, how long have you been drinking coffee for, me, Ma? She's like 97 years old and pretty like sharp as a tack. When you ask her that question, she's like, as long as I can remember. So it's like, I think most health subjects, when you really start studying them deeply, you can actually be convinced of whatever you want to hear. So if you want to hear that coffee is good for you, if you do enough research, you'll find studies that say coffee is good for you. If you want to hear coffee is awful for you, and it'll burn out your adrenals, and it'll give you adrenal fatigue, and you won't be able to function anymore, you can find that too. And speaking of, dude, most people even know what adrenals are. People talk about adrenal fatigue all the time. If you do, comment below and tell me about it. But if you're just going to rant off and regurgitate some study you heard about how bad coffee is for you because you may just not be epigenetically favorable for you to consume that coffee, so it doesn't work for you, so you want to tell everyone else it sucks for them, I don't want to hear it. But if you actually have done very objective studies on coffee, tried it, didn't try it, and you know a lot about what adrenals are and what adrenal fatigue is and where your adrenals are and all that stuff, tell me about it. So I do that. And also, what brought this up is because I'm on the subject of beer. Danimal also is addicted to either the beer or the ritual of drinking beer. I'm addicted to a few rituals. Like, I love sleeping until I wake up. If you wake me up with an alarm clock or something, if someone wakes me up unnaturally, I don't like that. I don't like not having coffee. I don't like not drinking a lot of water. I get ritualistic about these ideas. But two rituals that have stuck with me for a long time, ever since we kind of got away from the path of strict raw veganism and pretending that we know exactly what we're doing and preaching that to others, since we got away from that, two rituals that I've stuck with that kind of embarrass me, also make me uncomfortable. That I love drinking coffee and I love beer. I've tried other kind of alcohols like liquor sometimes or wine, but beer is really, this is my go-to. And one person even told me that I might be addicted to the carbohydrates because I don't consume as much carbs as most people might. I'm not paleo, I'm not primal. I'm really nothing that you can put me into a category. Maybe I'm raw. Maybe this is like a raw video. But I like beer. I drink about 2 a night. Sometimes it becomes more than that. Like this beer right now is a higher alcohol percentage. This is 7.3%, which is a little on the higher end than usual. But, you know, if you drank 2 7.3% beers, that's almost like 3 beers. So, is that a problem? You guys? What do you think? What other things would I be insecure about? See, I got Diana to videotape me on this because sometimes when I do try things to do by myself, I get really, like, in perfectionist mode. I'm like, oh, I can't, like, rerun. But with Diana here, because I'm fully known around her, it makes me a little more able to communicate in the way that I would communicate to her. Which is nice. Which is the healthiest thing, I think. I'm not going to say it's healthier than having a spiritual connection to God. And for me, that is through my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm not going to say it's healthier than that, but for like general health practices, when people tell you to eat all fruits and vegetables or drink lemon water right when you wake up or exercise 5 times a week, I think that stuff is insignificant compared to this practice, because I think this is what people neglect the most, which is being fully known. And I think the quote from Brad Blanton goes something, and he might have taken this from someone else. Most of this knowledge and wisdom has been passed down from philosophers and psychologists down the line, and somehow right now in our school systems and the way we grow up with our parents and everything, it's usually kind of neglected. But the more that I reveal, I'll probably insert this quote later because I don't know if I can get it right now. Do you know how it goes, Diana? The less we have to hide, the less we are worried about being found out, the less worried we are about being found out, the more that we can be present with each other, and the more that we can be present with each other in the moment is I got a little distracted there. Like I wasn't being present there. iPhones, there's an app for that. Put it down. Put that phone away. And anyways, this tool of being radically honest or embracing your embarrassment or being fully known is a very empathetic experience. This is what makes us human. This is a big difference between other animals and humans, are that we have these minds, and then a lot of times we can just put things away and we try to just be known in ways. We act one way in front of our parents and act another way in front of our wife or our spouse, act another way in front of our siblings, act another way in front of our boss, act our boss we saw, so act another way in front of our children, and so on. Where what I'm saying that could be one of the healthiest things, and what people like Brad Blanton are saying, Brad Blanton thinks that stress, which a lot of people think is the #1 cause of disease, and he thinks stress, almost all stress is caused by lying, and not just any lying, but the worst kind of lying is withholding. And my point of this video is that if you can create this context with some people where you could be fully known, it can be one of the most powerful things in your life. Can you feel the passion coming from me to you? How important this is. And I really recommend you experimenting with this. And the RawBrahs retreat is a great way to do that. But if not there, read a book like Radical Honesty with someone else and experiment with it. And instead of getting so caught up with words, just get caught up with these feelings that arise, these intense feelings, or intense feelings of you being alive. But I was asking Diana, is there anything else that I would be embarrassed to talk about? For the RawBrahs audience. Like, I can talk about weird, like, sexual things, and, but I don't think that really pertains to the YouTube audience.
Like where you think you have a mole?
Yeah, all those wacky things, but that doesn't really pertain to you guys. Maybe if this is really interests you, we can talk about this on our website, or maybe definitely the RawBrahs retreats. We go all in. We go all in there. What else do you think I'd be
beer
shameful?
is the one you've been talking about.
Yeah, it's so taboo, and I grew up with this. Don't drink beer. It's very unchristian. But I don't know where I am. I don't know what my stance on that is. I do know that I feel healthy. I feel healthy drinking it. Like, I don't know about spiritual health, but like physical health, it feels right for me. I feel good. It feels like a great way to take the edge off at night. It kind of mellows me out. It kind of makes me loosey-goosey, have fun, makes me sleepy. I like all the benefits of that, for sure. And beer might be, out of all the foods we eat, it might be the most nourishing tradition. Beer's been around since apparently they paid the Egyptians to build the pyramids with it. I don't want to go into all the things about the potential health benefits of beer. I mean, if you were going to, back to the original question, what's my favorite beer? I kind of like a low hops beer usually. Paradoxically and ironically, I'm drinking the Hopskuchener tonight. But I generally like a lower beer. And I do, if you are going to drink alcohol, I would highly recommend doing it in moderation. If you're going to drink 14 beers a week, for instance, do it 2 beers 7 days a week rather than 14 beers in one night. Because there's something a little different about that, and I think that's just the lesson in all things in life. You hear it all the time, and how cliche can it be, all things in moderation. But that's something that I think definitely needs to be in moderation. Anything else that I can talk about? The RawBrahs fans, friends that I'm insecure about. You pretty much know, you guys know a lot about our lives. What I would recommend, actually, for you, if you can't find that friend, or if you don't have someone you can be radically honest and be fully known with, Diana is that person for me, really. We have a wacky, if you would hear the things we tell each other. But I do draw the line. I do draw the line when I don't like to be radically honest about other people without their permission. But for myself, it's all, you know, game open, game on. I would recommend making a video like this one day. Or, you know, that our friend, there was a guy, what's the guy's name? Oh, man. The guy that wrote that Facebook post. He recently came out and wrote, like, everything he was ashamed about. And I think that was a super healing process. I don't always recommend doing it in personal ways through, like, emails or Facebook messages or text messages or voicemails, because I think so much is unsaid. I mean, so much is said, not through words. Like, nonverbal communication might communicate more than what the words actually do. And I mentioned me losing my faith in words the other day, and I was thinking about how sometimes me and Diana get these little, like, arguments, and really all we're trying to do is, like, who can craft up a better argument to prove the other person wrong, when in reality I think we might need to do is just express this emotion. Can you imagine how much less arguments there would be if there wasn't words? If you got mad, you know, it's either basically this person's either alive, dead, or asleep. So, like, or, you know, excited. Like, that person's excited. So if I got in a really mad argument with Diana and I didn't have any words, instead I just expressed how I felt. I was like, wait, that could be the same way it is like when the best thing in my life is happening. So that my point is you need to express these things, and once you can move past these words and just get in touch with your senses, lose your mind and come to your senses. Just my heart's beating really fast, I want to scream really loud, my ears are hurting, my hands are trembling, whatever these things are. Some play like Russian, I don't even think it has the word for frustration. I think we had a Russian girl on a retreat once, and she's like, what's frustrated? Can you imagine if we didn't have a word for frustrated, angry, mad, pissed off, like all these different, like, oh, I'm anxious, or I'm nervous, or I'm, oh man. Just imagine if you're like, yeah. Hey, that's an idea. Maybe, well, I think we're going to try that exercise at our next retreat. It might look pretty radical from an outsider perspective without the context. But I've probably rambled on enough on this video. I know most people, once they see a video over 5 minutes, they want to watch it. So if you did watch this video all the way to the end, let me know by saying the magic word, which is Zimbabwe. And just comment below Zimbabwe. Like the video, share it if you want. But I know you might feel weird about sharing this video with this weird guy, so not necessary. If you want to get more of this, definitely come to RawBrahs Retreat, and definitely subscribe to our website. And yeah, if you don't like it, tell me about that too, because I made a video about haters. I love you haters, so put that down below somewhere. We'll put an annotation to see the hater video right here. Would that work? Anything else? Help me out, Diana. I'm feeling insecure and I like it.
You like it. I think the radical honesty is mostly difficult for people in a couple. Or in couples, I mean.
In a relationship.
In a relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely
think
agree.
they misinterpret the idea of being radically honest.
Yeah, maybe if you want a video on that, maybe Diana and I can sit down again. And I know things can be taken out of context. We love doing it in person. I love talking to people in person and just like feeling them. And I think I'm a big, you know, I've talked about seeing the side view of the stage where I can kind of see the audience and the performers, and I think I'm intuitively really good at reading nonverbal communication. So I prefer that method. So yeah, heck, we'll just save that for RawBrahs Retreat. I'm gonna cut myself off now. How many minutes has this video been?
19.
Okay, let's cut it off before 20. You know what to do, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me. If you did this long, thank you all. Peace. I did think of something else that would make me even more insecure. See, it's addictive. Once you start doing this and you start feeling these experiences of being fully alive, you want more of it. Like in the moment, it might feel a little overwhelming, but then it stops and you kind of drag down to regular life and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Give me a cup of coffee or a beer, or let me be insecure again. So I'm going to go with the insecurity and sip on my beer at the same time. But one of the things I would is the amounts. I get kind of obsessive. I'm an obsessive person, and sometimes I get like, you know, sometimes I drank more than 2 beers. So it's been a while since I've done that, but like, you know, when life is getting a little rough like it was in Peru, it was 2+ sometimes. Never too extreme. And the coffee I've been drinking like, whoo, 1 to 5 servings a day. Something depends on the serving size. Like I would drink coffee on average lately 2.5 times a day, I would say. But my serving size can be pretty strong, so who knows how many cups. Heck, what if JP asked me once, he's like, what if you were an alcoholic? And I was like, what if I was? Hey, so what if I was a coffee addict? I'm gonna ask that. So I'm gonna ask that to my question now. What if I'm addicted to coffee and dependent on coffee? Well, okay. What if you are? What if you have a small wiener? What's up? What if you do? I just say that because that's a common one. People get caught up on that one. What's another one people get caught up on a lot? What if you are fat? What if most people think that you're ugly? What if you are not only this? You are not this. You are beyond this. Do you believe that or no? Maybe if some people don't believe that, but I do truly believe that we are way beyond this flesh and bone in our face and our feet and our wieners and our addictions. We're much more beyond that. We're connected to something much higher than us.
That's why I don't take it seriously when you tell me I'm not attractive.
Yeah, sometimes you've seen Diana. I probably would, I would guess, objectively, based on our cultural conditioning, we would all think Diana is a very attractive woman. But sometimes I wonder if, like, that other girls, is that girl more attractive than you are? But I think Diana probably thinks that about me, too. She watches these videos with Shannon Tatum. Awful actor, man. The video The Fighter was good, but so if Diana thinks he's more attractive than me, what if that's what happened? What if that's it? What the heck? I was about to cuss, but I'll cut myself off. What the heck does it matter? You are more than this moment. This life is just like that in the timeline of eternity. So don't get caught up with these things that your mind tries to wrap itself around. You are connected to something much bigger and much greater. And if, just like our last video, Jared, he talked about his life began once he lost his leg. So what if? Maybe something, you know, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. I would say get to that moment before you do. I made a Facebook status today that you always hear the story about John got cancer, he had 6 months left to live, then he began to pursue his passion, and he lived the dream life that he always wanted to. Where Susie just hit rock bottom, went farther than she realized she has nothing left to where she was finally free to do what she wanted to do. Just do it now. Start living your dream now. Wake up, baby. Wake up. Live the life you want to now. Let me know what you think about this video. It was a slow start, but I think a strong finish. Undersell, over deliver.
Anybody downstairs?
Yeah, what?